The king staggered to his feet. The scepter in his hand was surprised. "It's them, how can this be, your majesty, we personally killed them back then." The sword he held also defended. "That's right, they really died under the sharp blades of our swords." The king now felt only rage towards them. "Enough, this is the heaven-defying aspect of this player family. If I can completely kill a player with body snatching, then I must turn all of them into my vessels in the future." Lu Li slowly reminded the three, "Be careful of the face on that king." Little Pepper found it disgusting and nauseating. The contrary, Ah Fei was surprised by his big brother's words. "Face on the chest," he explained. "That's right, he uses that face to activate his body snatching skill. It's likely not just as simple as hurting the game character." Ah Fei waved his hand dismissively. "Don't worry about that face, hurry and save Big Brother first." Little Pepper also approached. "I'll help too." The king began to command the sword and scepter, "Drive away these annoying insects." The scepter, hearing the command, began to emit power. "Yes, your majesty." The sword was not far behind, emitting a green surge of power. "Understood." The scepter approached. "Damn it, making us lose face in front of the king again." Little Pepper became alert. "Here it comes." Ah Fei took a stance, ready to deal with the scepter first. The two of them combined to unleash the fire meteor attack. But the scepter broke through it with a single attack, unaffected. "Obstruct gravity." She sneered. "This is what you call magic." Ah Fei and Little Pepper looked at each other and nodded. Grasping hands, a beautiful red light appeared. That ultimate move was perfect teamwork, a two-person combination skill, coiling fire dragon dance. Successive fiery tornadoes spun and attacked the scepter. The terrifying power forced her to stand there covering her face, unable to resist. The flames flickered. The scepter took the brunt of it. "Damn it, this skill can melt ice. It's foggy and rainy here, I can't see anything." The sounds of fighting and lightning erupted simultaneously. It all came from Hua Zhao's side, who was continuously attacking the sword. She looked at him coldly. Ham Sun's determination. Countless arms from Hua Zhao's magic flew towards the sword to take it down. He raged. "You think you can suppress me? Dream on, mysterious sword, blade's edge." Hua Zhao was not inferior. "Don't even dream about it." Ham Sun's pistol immediately. The extremely powerful attack blew the sword away. He could only accept being blown away. "Damn it, this big-boobed airhead is so strong." The king caught the sword. He still wanted to defend himself. "Your majesty, I..." The king couldn't listen to another word. "Shut up." The king got angry and unleashed his true power. "Can anyone waste my time?" His magic was so powerful that it oppressed Hua Zhao, such a strong aura. He actually attacked first. Sword, edge path. Lu Li shouted anxiously, "Be careful." Ah Fei frowned. "That move again," but she faced it calmly. "In the darkest moment, don't be afraid because the light will surely come to break it." The Daybreak Guild came to help. Another team arrived in time to help prevent the consequences. Thursday Kwong used the shield. Released the arrows flying to the king. Shield deflect. Because of his carelessness, he was hit by the arrows and cried out in pain. Lu Li stood aside, watching in surprise. "Why are they here?" Ah Fei put his arm around her shoulder and explained. "We just got online and discussed a plan. We felt we couldn't handle this boss alone, so we went around gathering teammates." Coincidentally, they were nearby. Thursday Kwong's team shielded them. "We can be considered friends now that we haven't fought. How about we divide the rewards for defeating the boss by 5? Lu Li did not hesitate. Ah Fei teased. "We are missing one person. That is not fair." Yi Xiao grinned and laughed. "Let's put the old things aside first. Let me try the boss." Zhang Yu is helpless, he rushes like lightning. Thursday Kwong divided the battle plan. Lao Tam, attack from a distance. "Okay, fifth brother, assist with control." "Second brother, the two of us will follow Lao too." The two answered clearly in unison. At this time, Yi Xiao had approached the king and intended to give the opponent a blow. But unexpectedly, he blocked that loving gift. He flung Yi Xiao away with just one hand. "Get lost." He didn't give in and quickly prepared to charge up. "All right, strong." Second brother and Yi Xiao got close. Before they could touch the king, gravity shock, he could deal with the two of them alone. A flash of blue light appeared. A series of magical arrows attacked, causing the scepter and sword in the king's hand to fall out. Third brother stood at a distance aiming the bow, successfully disarming him. Fifth brother didn't hesitate to deploy, causing the king's legs to be entangled by growing roots. It restricted his movements. Yi Xiao and second brother seized the opportunity, Lang Lam. Thunderstorm, the two attacked from both sides. Thinking that they could defeat such a difficult boss, the two powerful magics combined to become a large, two-colored vortex with high destructive power. Yi Xiao said boastfully, "Die." Second brother sensed something was wrong. No, Lao too, increased the distance. Everyone was one step too slow. The tall king grabbed the arms of the two, lifted them up. Too late, Yi Xiao struggled to escape. "Damn it, let me go." The second brother painfully used his remaining hand to try to remove the tightly gripping arm. He gripped even tighter, treating them like balls and throwing them far away, one person to each corner of the wall. The third brother saw that the situation wasn't looking good, so he took action. Shadow arrow, the arrow was fired. Unexpectedly, with just his bare hands, the king could grab it and throw it back at him, returning it to the sender. Unfortunately, the third brother was injured as a result and painfully tried to endure it. The fifth brother was weak. "My summoned beast is," because the king quickly retaliated for holding him back. She fearfully backed away. "Don't come any closer." Shu Guang teleported to use his shield to block the attack to protect his teammate. The sixth brother adjusted his position to create distance. The king continuously struck the shield with great force, the powerful force causing the surrounding water to splash everywhere. "Can you block it? Let's see how long you can hold out." Shu Guang remained unyielding. "My shield is to protect my teammates, and you're hurting them. What you have to face isn't just a shield, but also my sharp sword." Half of his face gradually changed, along with half of his body, emitting a swirling black and red power. This time Shu Guang counterattacked Daybreak battle armor. The two of you began to fight fiercely, causing everything around to shake. Lu Li ordered a retreat. Little Chili followed instructions to the third brother to help him remove the arrow. Enduring it, Ah Fei came to help Lang Hang Dai Lang take medicine. He coughed continuously in pain. On the Hua Qiao side, they also came to the fifth brother's side, each of them coming to help Shu Guang's teammates. On this side, he was still fighting very fiercely. Lu Li, from afar, took the opportunity to slash at the king's arms. He not only slashed, but also gave a large stab in the back. He didn't expect someone like that to be able to play dirty with him. "Zhan Yu, my patience with you has reached its limit," the threat was uttered. Teammates from both groups, having recovered, simultaneously advanced towards the king, surrounding him. The scepter and sword, weapons of the worried king, "Your Majesty." Everyone's attacks occurred fiercely, colorful lightning bolts rained down. The shocking explosion that resulted burst into flames. The people below, not understanding the situation, were worried. An explosion, others were confused. "It's the king's aerial castle," some knights discovered. "Quickly gather the guard." The dense smoke blurred the vision, so Lu Li asked, "Maybe it's resolved." Shu Guang cautiously, "How is it?" Yi Xiao said, "All the damage should be enough." In the hazy smoke, a tall figure gradually appeared. That was the king, completely uninjured. In exchange the two people blocked it all, that is the sword and scepter, the sword that he always yelled at, and asks, "Your Majesty, the scepter is weakening. Are you all right? Are you injured?" He covered his mouth with his hand. "I'm fine, you did well." In exchange for that protection, he destroyed them without hesitation. "You are loyal, but too weak. You let my scepter be hurt, Your Majesty." The sword can't help but to be shocked. "Why?" Little Chili said that all the attacks just now were blocked by those two butlers. The third brother was stunned. "They're not dead yet." The fifth brother wondered, "What is he doing?" Shu Guang grabbed his sword. "Quickly, attack again." Red eyes glaring fiercely as he growled. Around the king emitted blue and red energy, concentrated into two bright orbs in his hands. "Zhan Yu, even without a vessel like you, I will make those who overstep pay the price." In the chaotic scene of blue and red energy, powerful rays of energy emanated outward, creating dazzling streaks of light and debris flying everywhere, evoking a sense of destructive power unfolding. The royal power storm move caused the space to shake violently. The blue energy swirled into concentric circles. A dazzling energy explosion, tearing through the space with immense power. The people below were also panicked. "Earthquake," they shouted. "Run, help." Cries for help rang out continuously. A guy with a fish on his head was surprised by the scene. "How is that possible?" The subordinate next to him pointed. "My lord." The entire aerial castle was destroyed. The explosion not only devastated the castle but also greatly affected the people. Amidst the desolate scene, the king stood on the turquoise water, surrounded by shattered rocks, the picture showing the devastation after a fierce battle. Above, the calm water reflected the white-gray remains of the destroyed structure. Lu Li painfully got stuck and pulled back. The king praised his life. "You still didn't die after all that. Indeed, being my vessel is your destiny," he asserted firmly. In the dark red virtual space with horizontal and vertical lines like a matrix, a pink notification suddenly appeared, initiating random achievement grimoire. Initiating random achievement grimoire. Personal attack on the king. Teva Kim, your simple attacks are a bit too mediocre. Please use your full power to make the opponent weep in despair. That would surely be interesting. In the desolate and ruined space, with smoke and dust swirling, King Teva Kim and Lu Li faced each other. King Teva Kim covered his mouth, smirking, and asked mockingly, "What, do you have any more moves left?" Lu Li glared and replied through gritted teeth, "I have one last move." Lu Li switched the interface to Azura mode. Teva Kim stood with his arms crossed, looking disdainful, and said, "Honestly, I'm starting to feel dissatisfied with you. You still have such a strong fighting spirit even now." The two rushed at each other, fighting at high speed, creating intense motion effects and energy bursts. After a while, Lu Li was able to get very close to Teva Kim's face. He attacked quickly, causing him to unexpectedly step back. He continuously attacked him, but he still had thoughts of looking down on him. The speed and strength have increased quite a bit, but that's all it is. Suddenly, Lu Li's hand touched his face, causing him to panic greatly. "What?" He pushed him hard against the wall. Teva Kim intended to unleash a blow with his left hand, red light spreading from the punch. He swung hard, causing Lu Li to bounce backward. With his large physique, he sprung upward with the intention of attacking again. He unleashed a powerful blow with immense energy emission. Teva Kim continued to prepare to deliver an extremely powerful blow to the opponent below, regardless of the fact that the place where Lu Li was standing had been destroyed, with pieces of rock breaking and flying everywhere. He lunged down and smashed down with great force, but luckily Lu Li was able to block the blow. Everything around them was shattered. Teva Kim thought angrily, his strength is still increasing, what's behind him? Azura mode condenses fighting spirit, enhances attributes. When fighting spirit takes shape, it can unleash the wrath of Allah. Note that in Azura mode, you cannot defend, cannot evade combat, cannot run away, otherwise the fighting spirit will dissipate and cannot be condensed again in a short time. Lu Li jumped up and hugged him, causing him to unexpectedly fall backward. Both of them smiled a terrifying, challenging smile at each other. Teva Kim created circles of power of varying sizes to push him away, silently cursing, "Get out of here, you maniac." Lu Li did not fall because of that. He continued to smile confidently and rushed forward to fight again. He landed a sudden, powerful blow that made him retract his hand. Lu Li kept hitting him to the point where blood splattered from his hand. Teva Kim angrily used his other hand to punch Lu Li hard in the stomach. The two hands touched each other, creating a massive explosion of power. The power of both merged, creating a massive destructive force that turned everything around upside down. Red rays surrounded everywhere. They still fought fiercely. Teva Kim unleashed power, causing Lu Li to slam hard into a large wall. He fought until he was sweating, his breath coming out in smoke. "Clearly I broke his ribs and arm, so why is he even more ferocious? Madman, truly a madman." Lu Li said nothing, only smiled gleefully. He continued to rush forward to fight again. Smoke billowed up. Power from the small island flying in the sky radiated everywhere. The fish-headed man spoke up, "It must be that audacious devil dragon who wants to attack His Majesty the King." The remaining man in black continued, "The device for moving to the sky castle is broken. What exactly is happening up there?" Suddenly something fell down. The man in black pointed up, "My lord, look, it's the tournament warrior." The fish-headed man ordered, "Quickly, save him." Lu Li's feet stood firmly in the smoke. Teva Kim coughed up blood repeatedly. "Can't prolong this any longer, truly can't have it, only choice is to destroy it." He sprung up, his hands on either side, creating two streams of different blue and red power. He unleashed the Royal Authority Storm technique. Lu Li didn't react, just stood with his eyes closed calmly. But as soon as he waved his hand, that technique was destroyed, causing Teva Kim to exclaim in shock, "Impossible." He smiled triumphantly, creating a streak of power that flashed past. Lu Li used the Azura's Wrath technique to counter. This technique defeated Teva Kim, splitting him in two. But a ray of power fell upon him. Teva Kim stuttered in disbelief. "No, no," he said, terrified as Lu Li approached with his weapon. "No, no, no." A vortex appeared, and he screamed, "No, I can't die, I can't die, save me, please save me, I'm willing to offer my soul, to die faithfully to you, infernal purgatory, please save your servant." Lu Li's eyes turned red, widening into a glare. In the sky, purple masses appeared, gradually revealing something, infernal purgatory. Warriors lay scattered on the ground. One of them spoke. "These warriors must have fallen here while protecting the king after being wounded by the devil dragon. They fought so fiercely, His Majesty must be in grave danger now, we must think of a way to help." The fish-headed man snapped, "What are you standing there for? Go help." Suddenly, something appeared that made him wonder, what is that? A crack appeared in the sky, and the man in black hesitated, as if it were the end of the world. King Teva Kim raised his hands, laughing and shouting, "God has answered me, infernal purgatory is opening." Tears streamed down his face. "Indeed, I am the chosen one, indeed, it is I." Suddenly, something sharp flashed past, causing blood to splatter. Lu Li stood there, coldly looking down at Teva Kim. "Why am I so sleepy all of a sudden? I really want to take a nap." His head fell, mixing with the blood. "So God lives in infernal purgatory, I wonder if I'll meet him soon. How will you judge my life?" The crack in the sky grew larger. Lu Li stood with his eyes wide open. "This is infernal purgatory, the place where my brother disappeared." Without hesitation, he jumped up. He gritted his teeth, determined, "I've finally found it." A light flashed through him. Lu Li's face showed worry. "What's going on? I can't move." He stood there, unable to do anything more, even though it was right in front of him. Eyes appeared and spoke. Zhan Yu, in Lu Li's heart, began to feel worried. "Who's behind me? It's so annoying that I can't even move my eyes." The eyes asked, "Do you want to enter the infernal purgatory to find Han Yixiao?" Countless other eyes flew out from the crack. "No need to look, he's already dead." Suddenly, a mess of chaotic sounds filled Lu Li's ears. "Just kidding, actually, he's almost dead too. Isn't it more painful than death? You must want to talk, right? I bet he really wants to see his brother. How pitiful, I should let him see him, maybe it wouldn't be a problem to meet, but I don't want them to meet. How about we decide with rock paper scissors?" Many eyes gathered together, creating a dazzling red light that spread everywhere. "There, you lost, I guess I can't let them meet. Actually, it doesn't matter whether they meet or not." Seeing this, Lu Li felt very confused. "I need to think of something fast. Those eyes have now become a human with large wings, because you're about to die." His hand created a small force that confused him. Without hesitation, he immediately attacked, causing Lu Li to retreat, his body almost fatally wounded. Lu Li's iron armor trembled with great fluctuations. Hidden behind the iron armor was Lu Li's enduring face. "Warning. Warning, player's heart rate is decreasing, life-threatening danger imminent, initiating forced logout, logout failed." A mass of data emitted from him. "System error, restarting. Restart failed, restart failed." Zhan Yu controlled Lu Li with a sharp purple ring. "Before you die, let me show you the opening ceremony." Now other cracks have appeared in the sky, the opening ceremony that even your brother couldn't stop in the end. In another space, Mai Tam and Mai Min were standing under the Huayang Island forest. The two of them intended to take pictures. Mai Tam praised, "Wow, this place has such beautiful scenery, let's take a picture." Mai Min agreed with a smile. Okay, okay." Suddenly, the sky behind them darkened. Mai Tam wondered, "Wait, why is it getting dark when I'm adjusting the brightness?" That's right, it was normal just now. They looked up and saw the sky part, wondering one by one. "What is that? The sky is cracked." In another place, seeing the broken pieces in the sky is also very surprised. "What is that? Must be some special activity. There are people sitting by the fire in the middle of the cold snow and ice." One person asked, "What is that?" The other person replied, "The smell of danger." Bright purple crosses covered the earth. The world is gradually opened up by magical purple blocks. Two parallel worlds facing each other. One side of the world radiates blue energy, the other side of the world radiates red energy. The Eye-Man snapped his fingers to command the link. As soon as the command was heard, the two worlds were immediately connected by a coverage area. When the red energy poured down, Create a huge explosion under the earth. Everyone shouted in fear and carefully retreated, afraid that it might be some legendary treasure. Why does it feel like the door is moving? Someone's feet slowly walked towards me. Blood Claw smiled smugly. This is the world of players. Zhuanghui Shui grinned, finally past here. He smiled slyly, determined to kill them all. Looking out at the vast scene with the gloomy sky, torn by purple blocks of light, giant red rays of light shining down on the ground, his eyes asked, majestic. Dear players, this game will enter a new phase at this moment. Opened Illusory Moon version 2.0 Purgatory without intermission. The body gradually dissolved. The player's life feature has disappeared. A group of warriors rushed into a fierce battle. The leader was a leader wearing a black cloak. His face was very formidable. A warrior spoke up, "This is a small soldier, he is too strong, he tried to fight such a strong monster, his equipment must not be bad." The leader smiled slyly, his hand was creating fire. The so-called players are these weaklings. Suddenly, giant spikes shot up from the ground, injuring countless warriors. The earth attacked. One of the lucky ones who escaped was scared and wanted to retreat, saying, "Damn, I can't fight this, so I'll just run." The remaining teammate agreed, "That's right, run quickly." Blood Claws appeared from somewhere threatening, wanting to run to the front. Not giving the others time to speak, he swung his claws, sending sparks through their bodies, causing their bodies to shatter into pieces. Countless others charged forward to fight fiercely. Monsters, don't be arrogant. Peak and Dynasty, all guild members charge, must reach the top, charge, charge. Nostalgia with a solemn face, hands creating blue magic. His hands clenched into fists, emitting blue energy. That power spread out with great destructive force, causing everyone else to be sent flying. Blood Claw proudly shouted, "Master is the best." The other leader also added his praise, "Your Majesty is peerless in power." Huai Shui's face clearly showed evil power. In his hand he held a blue energy ball, emitting strange rays of light. "Kill these players, collect their dropped souls, can return to Illusory Moon, in exchange for everything you want. Go, strength, money, and benefits are all waiting for you." Blood Claw and the others smiled smugly as they walked forward. In the modern technological city there is heavy rain. In a small, quiet room, a mother walked in and shouted, "What time is it? You've been playing all day and all night. You only know how to play. You used your energy to play, but used half of it on studying. I'm going to burn incense for my ancestors right now." While the child was still lying motionless on the bed, the mother walked out and opened the curtains. "Oh, it's raining so hard. What will you do if you can't get into university and can't find a job in the future? Get up quickly, take a shower and change your clothes. Your dad will take you to extra classes." The mother approached the bed with an angry face. "Wake up quickly, you can't even hear what I say anymore. I worked hard to raise you to be an adult only knowing how to play games. I'm going to smash your game console now." The tech helmet was thrown to the ground. The mother tried to shake her son. "You're deaf, little Tien, what's wrong with you?" The boy's face was stiff, his mouth open, his eyes pale. Outside the rain was pouring harder and harder. In another room, a girl was also flattering her lover. "Honey, stop playing games and play with someone." The phone rang at exactly 8:30, and so did a lot of other people, controlled by this game. On the news, the reporter reported that the globally popular game Illusory Moon published by Destiny Company had an extremely serious technical problem, resulting in more than 1 billion players worldwide being unable to exit the game. The reporter's face was angry. Currently, hundreds of thousands of players are in life-threatening danger. Next, we have a reporter live at the headquarters of the Destiny Corporation. The scene at Destiny Corporation is extremely chaotic, with people shouting questions, asking if this incident is due to a technical malfunction or a conspiracy, and demanding an explanation for the cause of this situation. Countless reporters are asking questions. How long will it take Destiny Corporation to come up with a solution? Can Destiny Corporation handle the compensation for so many victims? But the answer they keep getting is, no comment, no comment. The reporters are outraged. No comment. Is this Destiny Corporation's answer to the whole world? Is this your attitude? Even when faced with lawsuits from various countries, you still have no comment. The spokesperson stated that only Destiny Corporation can resolve the current situation and all you can do is wait. This interview is now over. Under the pouring rain, everyone was whispering, "What's over? Are you guys provoking the people of the world?" this is a large-scale kidnapping that was planned in advance by the Destiny Company. Inside the Destiny Corporation's central conference room, everyone is arguing incessantly. Everyone is shouting, "Such a huge mistake, what the hell is the technical department doing? If you don't know anything, shut up, if this isn't handled well, the whole company is doomed, everyone knows that." The leader pounds his hand on the table. The others fall silent and listen. I ask, you answer. He begins to ask what caused the players to be unable to log out. Someone answers, the explanation is a bit complicated. The leader continues, then keep it simple. The person replies, yes. The operating principle of a fully immersive game is through the game headset, linking consciousness with the game's network center to transmit real-time player actions and game feedback. But last night, the network center suddenly blocked the transfer route, causing the player's consciousness to only transfer in and not back to the player's brain. If the headset is forcibly removed, cutting off contact, it will cause serious damage to the brain, leading to brain death. The leader asks, what about emergency solutions? The blonde-haired man sighs and replies, a dozen emergency backups have all been blocked. A man in black adds, just cut the power to the network center and turn it off. The blonde-haired man points and shouts, idiot, that's the same as taking off the headset. Right now, the player's consciousness is trapped in the network center. Once it's turned off, it will damage the nerves of all the players. The leader speaks up, silence, at all costs, the technical department must speed up the decryption. I will arrange the best specialists in the world to provide technical support. The public relations team will increase the budget to minimize negative news, and get me an appointment with the Secretary General as soon as possible. He declares the meeting adjourned. In the silent room, only the leader remains. He taps on the table, and a high-tech screen appears. He touches the screen, manipulating something. He stares thoughtfully at it. Soul is lying on a modern metal bed, with many black cables and devices attached to her body. Illusory moon, the unescapable game crisis, day 2 in the city, shrouded in nighttime rain, cold blue light reflects off the tall buildings, creating a sense of loneliness and gloom, with a cyberpunk and sci-fi feel. The news reports breaking stories. This crisis caused by Destiny Corporation has resulted in a large number of people missing, many employees in important positions are absent, the harm and casualties caused are escalating. A couple sits motionless on a couch, heads bowed, wearing VR headsets and handcuffed, as if immersed in a virtual world. The scene evokes a sense of unease and fear, while the TV keeps playing. Please pay attention to sudden situations in life. Actively contact relatives and important friends. If there is a situation of loss of contact, please go to their residence in time to clarify the situation. If you are far apart, please call. The phone on the woman's lap rings loudly, but she can't hear it anymore. Mom, answer the phone. Mom, answer the phone. The entire city experiences a power outage in the pouring rain, creating a sense of anxiety. God, the power's out in the area. Is anyone doing anything about it? Let it all be destroyed. My food hasn't arrived in 2 hours. How long is this rain going to last? The first floor is about to flood. At the city's upstream embankment. In a room, 3 people in white coats are slumped over the table unconscious, still wearing head-mounted devices. A radio echoes the call. Control room, heavy rain is causing water levels to rise. Please immediately open the floodgates. Please immediately open the floodgates. The call rings out, repeated over and over, but no one can hear it anymore. Please immediately open the floodgates. Repeat, please immediately open the floodgates. Elsewhere, a small figure is frantically urging the system while facing a monstrous creature with a deformed shape, a skeletal body, purplish, wrinkled skin that looks burned, and abnormally long arms that have transformed into sharp blades dragging on the ground. Exit game, I want to exit the game. It swings its arms with the sharp blades, wanting to kill the player. He can only be afraid. I have to go to work. I don't want to play anymore. Mom, a red stream of fire shoots over. The blonde-haired teenager, glowing red like his flames, has reached the monster and kicked it, breaking it apart. It is burned to death in a lava-hot fire. That person is Fei. He asks the other player, hey, has anyone seen a very handsome, dark-skinned guy with dual blades? The other player stammers, no, I haven't seen him. Fei is extremely worried. Damn it, why can't I find second brother anywhere? There's no information here. He uses his fire power to fly away. Second brother, the player from before reaches out, trying to grab him. Great One, don't leave me behind. In a space filled with dense screens of neon pink and purple data interfaces, charts, binary code, and flashing information panels, Lu Li is floating. He is stunned. Am I going to die? But, his eyebrows furrow, and he resolutely says, I'm not giving up. The clown book displays a notification at the right time. You have completed the random mission of single-handedly killing Teva Kim. A random reward is being given to you. Your reward is a lucky revival coin. A glittering gold coin appears. It saved Lu Li's life. He sits gasping for breath in the murky water, leaning his back against a large stone cross amidst the ruins, surrounded by smoke, debris, and dust. He looks at his hand, exhaling in relief. I'm alive, my body feels so heavy. The mage holding the staff suddenly appeared. This time I was willing to summon Jiangshi, my tragic death. I was indeed stronger than others. Lu Li looked at this strange place. This place is. The mage with a face like a black bear pointed at him. Come here and kneel down, swear to be loyal to me. He stared in surprised anger. Lu Li got up and approached the mage, making him confused. What do you want? Lu Li replied, I want to ask you something. He still didn't know how terrifying the man in front of him was, and still spoke loudly. What kind of attitude is that? Kneel down to me. Instantly, a powerful force was released by Lu Li, blowing away the stone crosses on the muddy water. This move was enough to scare the mage, causing him to kneel down and clasp his hands in forgiveness. Little one, I'll tell you what I know, I'll tell you what I know. In the purplish-pink space filled with data. A person as black as ebony, with 2 wide wings, and 4 bright spots on their face, spoke as if talking to the orbs in the purple space. How strange, suddenly a code appears in the monster world that resembles Zhan Yu. Impossible, we killed him with our own hands. Now is not the time to worry about these things. We must concentrate on dealing with the traditional channel. But what if? The orbs talked too much, causing her to yell, stop rambling. In whose territory did that code appear? An orb replied, in the territory of the illusory Moon City Lord. Hearing this, she decided, then let the illusory Moon City Lord clean it up. In illusory Moon City, the City Lord's secret realm, a white-haired person was sitting majestically on a rock in the middle of a lake of blood. Behind them was a huge dragon skull with sharp teeth. The scenery exuded death and evil. An orb from the purple space appeared here, saying, the will of my Moon Lord has been conveyed. The person closed their eyes and coldly said one word, understood. The Crimson Moon City Lord called out to Blood Servant. He emerged from the murky red water. The City Lord ordered, go and do it, Blood. Servant knelt and saluted, respectfully saying, yes, my lord. Back at Lu Li's location, the mage had already scampered away. Great One, if there is nothing else, this humble one will take my leave first. He also had the information he needed, the connection between the monster world and the players. Monsters can freely come to the player world to hunt and kill players. As long as they collect souls by killing players, they will be completely destroyed. Lu Li remembered the black figure with 4 bright spots on their face. She is the Blood Lord, but he doesn't know her, and the source of all these things is that person. Is she a person or something else? But the most important thing is to know that older brother is not dead. Very likely he is being held captive by that person. Before leaving, he looked up at the vast space around him. If I can find her, all the problems will be solved. Lu Li turned to leave, but he realized, was he seeing things just now? It seemed like there was a silhouette on the mountain peak. But it wasn't an illusion, there really was someone there. No. Lu Li turned around to check again, but that person was already standing right behind him with a huge horse. The person and horse had approached Lu Li at some point. He stared in panic, so fast, faster than any enemy I've ever encountered before. Blood Servant held the reins in one hand, and summoned his own fiery red weapon, the blood spear, in the other. He held the blood spear and stabbed straight down at Lu Li. His small hands holding the sword could only block a part because he felt too heavy. His arms were about to shatter. The spear in Blood Servant's hand stabbed straight down into the desolate battlefield filled with leaning black crosses and flying rubble. A violent rage erupted. From the epicenter of the fiery red explosion, Blood Servant still rode the black horse with green eyes with overwhelming momentum amidst the floating rubble. Taking advantage of the chaotic space, Lu Li used shadow clones and paralysis strike to attack him. The black horse neighed loudly, breaking through his attack immediately. The move it used was War Stomp. Its stomp had terrible power, throwing everything around it far away, creating a large crater. Lu Li and the rocks were knocked back hundreds of meters. The black horse snorted, and the armored man spoke, I am Blood Servant, ordered by the city lord to take your dog life. Blood Servant swung his spear for intimidation. Lu Li stood in the distance and assessed, too strong, several levels stronger than King Teva, my body hasn't recovered yet, and I'm extremely weak. He made a new plan immediately, retreat first. Blood Servant chased after him with murderous intent, die. The horse's hooves rushed forward, he swung his spear and cut off one of his arms. Lu Li clutched his empty right shoulder, only gushing blood, turned and ran, too fast, several times faster than me. He lowered his body to gain momentum, he couldn't shake him off by running normally, but if he planted paralysis strike on his legs. Lu Li used paralysis superspeed, immediately running as fast as the wind, his figure couldn't be seen. Blood Servant looked in the direction he was running with such speed and exclaimed in surprise. The horse's hooves scraped on the ground preparing for the chase. The chase went on from when the sun was still shining until darkness covered the space. The moonlight was already hanging overhead. Blood Servant chased right behind Lu Li. He ran with difficulty, the speed was enough, but the burden on his legs was too great, his legs gradually lost sensation, plus his arm was constantly losing blood, paralysis superspeed was about to fail, and he would be caught immediately. His eyes darted around, he could only rely on the terrain to buy time. Before Blood Servant's spear struck him, he jumped to the side. Lu Li jumped off the towering cliff. If he hadn't run in time, the fiery red slash on the ground would have burned him alive. Lu Li fell at an extremely fast speed. He fell into a lake of water. As soon as he touched the liquid, Lu Li used the illusionary god merman race to transform into a long tail, making it easier to swim. The blood slave looked down from above at the raging river. He firmly gripped his blazing red spear, slashing horizontally with the bloodbath unbounded technique, sending a long column of water flying into the air. He slashed 2 or 3 more times, and finally the water fell back into the river. The water poured over him like rain. The blood slave tasted the scent of blood, truly exquisite. He had found Lu Li's scent, there was no escape for you now. Downstream. The water flowed quietly, and the blood slave slowly walked forward under the bright, yellowish moonlight. He rode down from above, looking down at Lu Li lying on a rock by the riverbank, end your hunt and accept death. His whole body was battered, blood flowing from his lips, his gaze cold and helpless, his heart filled with resentment, just resurrected and already have to die, are you kidding me, God? The moonlight was about to hide behind the clouds. Suddenly, a blazing red ray flew through it. In the vast sky, it flew swiftly, leaving only a red d. The people who saw it mistakenly thought, Mom, a shooting star. The mother urged her child, make a wish quickly. The red ray, before he could do anything, the blood slave gradually vanished, recognizing the technique as the Lantian finger. A cross-shaped door appeared, and the person who stepped out was Wu Yu. The blood slave looked at her in disbelief. Lord Wu Yu, why? Wu Yu stood next to Lu Li with her arms crossed. Kid, you always look disheveled every time I see you. Even Lu Li was surprised to see her there. Wu Yu frowned, reminding him to call her master. The blood slave gradually vanished. I am. Before completely disappearing, he managed to say a few words. By order of the city lord, Lu Li had already sat up, looking at her in confusion. Master. In the sky, dark clouds gathered, striking the two of them with crimson lightning. Wu Yu calmly looked at the light, while Lu Li was a little surprised. From the eye of the vortex a gate was erected to the sky. 3 people flew down from above. 2 protectors holding identical spears spoke. The Crimson Moon City, City Lord Blood Crane has arrived. Blood Crane also appeared, and he asked in a cold voice, Hall Master Wu Yu, why do you want to kill my blood slave, preventing me from acting? Wu Yu coldly called his name. City Lord Blood Crane. Lu Li, sitting beside her, was already trembling all over. What are you talking about? I don't understand. City Lord of the Crimson Moon City. Lu Li was enduring terrifying pressure, a strong murderous intent, and the air became heavy. He gritted his teeth and stared at the white-haired man. This person was Wu Yu's direct superior. It seemed he was sure to die today no matter what. No, before I die, I have to clarify my relationship with Wu Yu. I can't implicate her. Blood Crane landed and said impatiently, Hall Master Wu Yu, do you want this city lord to repeat myself? She was not afraid to talk back. Say it again, I don't understand. The pressure from the city lord was not insignificant, it was extremely terrifying, frightening all the demonic beasts. Run, quickly, 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 retreat. All the animals fled. Move, move, we don't need this place anymore. Blood Crane crossed his arms and said, I am the city lord of the Crimson Moon City, governing the entire city, and you are the Eastern Moon Hall master, managing the distribution of resources and the secret blood pool. Will you change the subject? The economy has declined. The city's finances are short, the expenses of the city lord's mansion need to be reduced. Blood Crane was angry. Don't think that just because my father brought you here, you can be disrespectful in front of me. Will you continue to threaten? The taxes of officials, large and small, in the city should also be increased a bit. Blood Crane was provoked and flaunted his power in front of her, measuring his strength. I can also defeat you. Wu Yu was not afraid of him at all. Oh, I almost forgot, the military budget of the Guardians Formation game world also needs to be cut. His tightly closed eyes were forced open. You dare. Blood Crane's power exploded, shattering the Rocky Mountains, creating deep ravines, and an exploding, terrifying pressure. Wu Yu didn't care what he did. She used her magic to move Lu Li past Blood Crane, and said, the Eastern Moon Hall is responsible for distributing resources, all of which are determined by generations of city lords. Why wouldn't I dare? City Lord Blood Crane, there's nothing else, I will take him away. He shouted in a deep voice, leave him, that's the person the Moon Lord wants to kill. Wu Yu looked at him coldly. She was silent, as if thinking about something. Lu Li looked at her. Instantly, in front of Blood Crane, Wu Yu waved her hand and chopped off Lu Li's head in front of many people. Blood Crane frowned, but couldn't find anything to fault her for. Your head is in Wu Yu's hand. She opens the cross-shaped door and wants to leave. If it is Moon Lord's order, Wu Yu will certainly not object, but I really like the shape of this head, giving it to me as a decoration is fine. The three people stood silently watching her leave. The two protectors next to Bloodhawk laughed heartily. Wu Yu is usually lawless and unrestrained, but in front of the city lord, she has to obediently listen to orders. Wu Yu's expression when killing the pretty boy was especially interesting. The two subordinates were lifted up, and wounds appeared on their bodies. Bloodhawk angrily shut his mouth. Their bodies twisted and bled, groaning and begging for mercy. Great Lord, spare us. But Bloodhawk clenched his fist, turning them into a rain of blood, because he was extremely angry. She obeys the Moon Emperor's orders and not mine. He bathed in blood, his mind becoming slightly deranged. She doesn't even put me, the city lord, in her eyes. Wu Yu, sooner or later, I will crush your pride and make you a obedient dog. At the secret realm of the Crimson Moon City, Lin Hoa Blood Pond, Wu Yu brought Lu Li back to this place. He soaked in the blood pond, beginning to restore his white bones. The two chatted animatedly. Are you saying your younger brother liked 3 people at once? In the end, they just wanted to rob and kill. That's right, Wu Yu said happily, crossing her legs. Very interesting, the outside world is indeed interesting. Continue, don't stop, tell me more. Lu Li waved his hands wildly, recounting, okay, then my brother and I didn't understand why we did that. It was really strange. Even after meeting a Phi, we never talked. We just wanted to quickly find clues about older brother. Why, now that I've met her, I want to tell her everything. A drop of water fell on the surface of the lake. Quite a long time had passed, enough for Lu Li to tell everything. Wu Yu asked him, so, your identity and older brother Han Not You are both players. He confirmed it was true. She stepped into the waters of the blood pool. Approaching him, standing from above and looking down with great arrogance. So what makes you think I will continue to help you? Wu Yu analyzed. If I continue to help you, there will be 100 harms and no benefits. Pushing you out will bring 100 benefits and no harm. Lu Li knew how valuable he was. Yes, I am very grateful that you haven't turned me into dust yet, so I must confess everything to you. He bowed his head before her. As I get closer and closer to the truth, I get further and further away from my brother, more and more helpless. Now, you are my last straw, if you are willing to help. Lu Li bowed like a true courtier, his hand sincerely over his left chest, and said, I am willing to dedicate everything to you. Having said this, Lu Li solemnly raised his hand to his chest and said clearly, I am willing to offer everything for you. Lu Li declared in the form of a skeleton. As soon as he finished speaking, his skin gradually regenerated its original shape. Unexpectedly, Wu Yu brought her foot in front of him, confusing him. Wu Yu sat on a high chair made of blood, surrounded by crimson rays of blood, like a luxurious chair where Wu Yu was the queen. Her face was full of arrogance, her hand supporting one cheek, leisurely resting one leg, and that foot was right in front of him. She said, "Very good, then first lick my foot really clean for me." Then stood up, wiggled her hips, and called me master. Wu Yu happily ordered him. Seeing him not moving, she provoked, "Why, can't you do such a simple thing? Didn't you just boldly say that you were willing to dedicate everything to me?" Lu Li looked at her pale white foot in front of him. He clenched his teeth and then licked it lightly. She was so stimulated that her face turned completely red with embarrassment. Her hand clenched and raised near her lips. She hurriedly moved 9 meters away from him. She said shyly, "I understand your determination, but there is still a huge gap between your current abilities and what you want to achieve." He soaked in the sea of blood and asked, "Exactly how far is it?" She pondered and replied, "In our world, all monsters are divided into 3, 6, or 9 different levels. Among the 3 low-ranking categories, the lowest rank, 9, is called the wretched. Wretched usually refers to extremely weak monsters such as birds, mice, spiders, or centipedes. They always do 2 things, eat other monsters and prevent being eaten by other monsters. The 8th level is called the laborer. The most primitive way to increase strength is to eat others. When some wretched eat enough monsters, they will be promoted to a laborer. Some laborers will be selected and raised in captivity, forcing them to perform labor tasks such as farming, transporting goods, building houses, etc. The 7th level is called the skilled. A laborer is provided with resources through labor, plus constantly devouring monsters after completing accumulation, will be promoted to a skilled. While increasing their strength, they will be given opportunities to learn. Once they begin to master skills, the person's social status also increases and they are allowed to participate in trading, repairing, assassination, or other jobs. These are the 3 low levels. This is the growth order of most monsters, but some monsters are born at higher levels. Next are the 3 middle levels. The 6th level is the Soul Slayer. Only those in the 3 low ranks who have reached sufficient strength are qualified to participate in the promotion exam in their fortress. Only after passing the exam can they be called Soul Slayers, qualify to join the formal army, be recognized by secular monsters, and make their family proud. The next level is the 5th level, called the Demon. Monsters of this level are very strong in combat and have good official positions in the fortress. Oh right, the blood slave who just chased you was one of those demon-level monsters. At this time, the 2 of them were sitting side by side on the blood beach made of skull bones. Wu Yu still sat leisurely with one leg up, looking at Lu Li, who was dejected, saying, "That demon-level blood slave is actually at a level I cannot fight." She comforted him, "Don't take yourself too seriously. On average, only 1 demon can be found among 10,000 monsters." She began to tell again, "The 4th level can be called the Great Calamity. This type of monster has the power to level rivers and mountains and can be considered a true powerhouse in the monster world." She imagined them in her head. These monsters, when they appear, are usually very tall, ferocious, and aggressive. Their hands can crush a group of people. After thinking about it, she continued, "At this level, they already have high status. They can decide the development and direction of the fortress by participating in meetings. These are the 3 middle levels, the backbone of the monster world. The next step is the high level, which is the level of my master, the 4 directions hall master. Each city has only 4 hall masters, who are all people who hold the most important powers, military, resources, equipment, and so on, respectively. The 4 hall masters promote the development of the fortress through cooperation and checks and balances. It's hard to describe their combat power, just imagine it yourself. Above me is the city lord, the person you just met. The city lord is the spokesperson of the highest power and strength within their jurisdiction. The entire monster world is divided into 9 cities, corresponding to 9 city lords. Each city has at least hundreds of millions of monsters, and because of different statuses and positions, the city lords have different management methods, and the customs are also different. After introducing, Wu Yu gently tucked her hair and asked, "Having said this, you must understand that the distance is very large, right?" He replied gloomily, "Understood." She glanced over and provided more information, "And that mysterious person in your mouth, the one who connected players and the monster world and ordered the city lord Bloodhawk to kill you, as far as I know, there is only one person with such ability and level. That is the Moon Lord, the head of the monster world. No one knows what she looks like. she is the god of the entire monster world, she controls everything I know and possesses unparalleled power. Moon Slayer was still silent at this time. Seeing that he didn't respond, she was also silent. After a while, she said sadly, sometimes it takes a lot of courage to learn to give up. Growing up is the process of discovering that you are not the center of the world. He held his head and replied, I know what I have to do is difficult or impossible to do, but I have no choice. He confided in her, my older brother is my big brother, he's my family, if it weren't for him, I probably would have frozen or starved to death, but not only couldn't I rescue my older brother, but even if I got involved, I'm so useless. He closed his eyes and blamed himself. Hearing this, Vio Noyet told him, come here, relax and breathe. She decisively pulled him down, his head on her lap, his face was bewildered, then she comforted him. You don't have to blame yourself and hold yourself responsible for everything, life like this is too tiring, he replied softly, but I. She stroked his head, making him a little more aware, it's hard to become stronger like this. Your goals and motivations are for others, not for yourself. His eyes lit up, wide with surprise. He murmured, for myself, she continued. Those who truly want to become stronger will constantly hear the most primal desires in their hearts. Ask yourself, do you enjoy every battle? Do you feel happy from the bottom of your heart for victory? He was stunned by these words, feeling joy. He gradually remembered that at first, fighting was just a game to him, maybe he didn't even play it. I just wanted to speed up the progress and quickly discover clues about my older brother. Even when my abilities improved, fighting just made me feel repetitive and boring. Until the story developed, I began to crave fighting to vent my anger. But fighting didn't make me happy then, memories flooded back like shards of broken glass. I thought about other people, until I met them at the arena. I felt the pure joy that fighting brought me. I temporarily forgot everything then, I just wanted to enjoy that fight, just wanted to win. He was like a madman, eyes blazing red. Win, I want to win. I will win every battle, I will defeat all the enemies in my path. The corners of her lips curled slightly. Watching him transform into the form of a bloodthirsty white tiger, she said with satisfaction, looks like I've awakened an incredible monster. He was lying on Vio Noyet's lap, she was still stroking his hair, but her voice gently called him, apprentice, if you figured it out, get up, master's legs are going numb. He then sat up in a panic, his face so ashamed and embarrassed that his whole body and the top of his head steamed with white smoke, stammering, I'm so sorry. She glanced at him, now that your inner self is clear, the path ahead will be easier, he asked with some curiosity, what should I do next? She said thoughtfully, what do you need to ask about doing? He still stared at her and said cautiously, Master, I don't understand, I don't know. She hesitated a bit, of course. Suddenly she realized that she also didn't know, breaking out in a cold sweat, she muttered to herself, how can this be? Of course, Master knows, I was born at the great calamity level, just breathing every day can make me stronger, but I can't say that, I have to make something up to trick him, after all, this little darling looks so stupid. Seeing this, he just sighed, what are you saying? Her eyes suddenly lit up, I have an idea. She raised a finger towards Luke Ly, solemnly saying a name, Han Not Tu. I suddenly remember Han Not Tu once said, he was a little surprised and asked, my older brother. She recounted everything without missing a word, if you want to become stronger, you can't miss the resources around you, there are many ways to increase your power in the Crimson Moon City, the Nam Noyet Hall Master has the secret to strengthening the body, which is the best first choice to build a solid foundation. After listening, he thought about it, based on his older brother's understanding of the game, this choice is not wrong. Then I'll start with Nam Noyet Hall. Hearing him say that, she could finally stretch comfortably and said, go, good luck, I will keep an eye on you. But she didn't forget to remind him, my relationship with the Hall Masters is very bad, if they know you're my disciple, you'll probably die in the next second, so you have to figure out how to get into Nam Noyet Hall yourself. Hearing her say that, he was very surprised and gaped, huh. Vio Noyet angrily pinched his ear and ordered, what, huh, before you go, you have to massage my feet for me, he cried out in pain, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. In the Crimson Moon City, Luke Ly, wearing a black cloak, was walking inside the city. He passed by the monsters, but they didn't seem to notice anything unusual. He was now very relaxed, with both hands in his pockets, walking very slowly. He recalled what Vio Noyet had said earlier, remember to disguise yourself when you go out, after all, you're already dead in this world. He sighed, everything happened so fast, I need to sort out my thoughts, I'm now in a monster world, in an area called the Crimson Moon City. There are countless powerful enemies and an unreliable master, and I need to use this place as a springboard to continuously improve my strength, then fight all the way to the Moon Lord and take back my older brother. Luke Ly planned carefully, he looked at the map to see that the place he needed to go was here. He looked ahead with determination and said, this is the first place on my path to becoming stronger. He now came to the front door of Tao Thiat Lao south of the Crimson Moon City. He remembered and repeated, Vio Noyet said that the Nam Noyet Hall Master is responsible for managing the production and preparation of food for the Crimson Moon City. The Nam Noyet Hall Master is also a food lover. This Tao Thiat Lao was opened by the Nam Noyet Hall Master. She often comes here to study quiz, so the chance of meeting her here is greatest. As he stepped onto the steps to enter, one of the two gatekeepers asked, hey, stop. The other also asked, what are you doing here? He replied calmly, just here to eat. Hearing his answer, they were a little surprised. Both of them said together, eat, eat. Then they burst out laughing, unable to contain themselves. One opened his mouth wide and blew him down below, yelling, get lost. The other looked disdainful, casually standing next to his comrade, looking him up and down the stairs, and said, where did this country bumpkin come from? If you want to dine at Gluttonous Tower, you need to be at least at the demon level this time. Seeing the strength of the gatekeeper surprised him, he stopped and steadied himself, exclaiming, even guarding the door is this strong, it seems I can't just barge in. He remembered what Vio Noyet had said, if it's really difficult to meet Hall Master Nam Noyet, your master will tell you a secret. The two gatekeepers saw him stepping up the stairs again and warned, hey, don't be ignorant, if you dare take another step, we won't just chase you away like before. He lied blatantly, I'm a chef here to cook for the Hall Master. Both of them were stunned, and they quickly opened the door for him to enter. Fawningly they said, please come in, so you're a chef, we were impolite earlier, please come in quickly. Then, they bowed their heads and closed their eyes, saying in a respectful voice, thank you for your offering. Inside Gluttonous Tower, the monsters were sitting and eating, then an employee approached and enthusiastically said, excuse me, are you the head chef here to cook for the Hall Master? He coldly replied, that's right. The employee placed both hands near his knees, bowed his head respectfully, and said, then please follow me. The catfish-headed monster, a guest eating here, couldn't help but exclaim, indeed, after eating at so many places, the taste of Gluttonous Tower is the best. The person sitting opposite him replied, that's right, you really can eat it 100 times without getting tired of it. While walking on the steps of the corridor, the aroma of the dishes wafted around, and he couldn't help but exclaim, it smells really good. The employee in front leading the way, introduced, the kitchen is just ahead. The two were standing in the main kitchen, pointing to the room where other monster chefs were cooking, and said, for chefs have already cooked before you, it is now the final stage, please wait a moment. The two-headed chef was skillfully slicing, the one next to him was expertly scooping things inside, not dropping a single piece. The other two were also confidently presenting their dishes to be offered to the Hall Master. At this moment, the referee rang the bell to announce the end. Ding, time is up, please chefs immediately stop cooking. Several new employees in black appeared and carried the eye-catching dishes cooked by the chefs earlier. The referee then said, the staff will now collect the delicious dishes you have cooked. The chefs were relieved and said to the servers, be gentle, don't affect my presentation. Phew, I'm so worried. My hands keep shaking. What's there to worry about? The taste of the dishes we cooked will definitely be fine. 4 servers carried 4 dishes respectively, 1 stir-fried sea worm with mountain bamboo shoots, 2 Jiangnan-style rice, 3 bloody sauce-covered arms, and 4 spicy steaks. The referee announced, the creations that you have cooked will be brought to the screen and Hall Master will taste them before making the final decision. He was overjoyed at this moment. So, Hall Master Nam Noyet is here. Not bad luck. Is this a cooking competition? Why do I feel like the chefs are very worried? In the order of the chefs standing, number 1 is the two-headed monster, number 2 is the green elf with 2 long pointy ears, number 3 is the human head all teeth and no lips, and 4 is the pig head. All bowed their heads uneasily. The referee announced, Hall Master has tasted your dishes, and the results will be announced immediately. The Hall Master's comments were, Number 1, the bamboo shoots are cut too thick and have an uneven texture. Number 2, the fried rice is too greasy. Number 3, the elbow has no added flavor. Number 4, the steak is overcooked. Hearing these comments like knives stabbing into their hearts, they panicked and begged, "Please, hall master, give me another chance, I'm done for, this is over." "What, impossible." The referee and the female servers in black, one hand on their left chest, bowed their heads sincerely and said in unison, "Then thank you for your offering, thank you for your offering." Suddenly everywhere turned blood red. Some drops of fresh red blood splattered in front of him. The employee who had been following him all this time now put his hand on his shoulder. His mouth grinned from ear to ear, and he said maliciously, "Head chef, it's your turn now."